and he encouraged me to get into business first and create a mindset of accountability, and then you go into job. So this is what I did. I started my whole career. 5 years I worked in Mumbai, started a company, a trading company over there, and then expanded a lot in India. And then eventually I came out to Gulf. Again, my father advised that you need professional experience now. You are raw and you are taking too much risk. I was moving very fast and very aggressive. So he said you need to slow down, move out, come back, and then inshallah we'll grow this further. So that was the idea. So first of all, our role model is the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We all like to follow him. So what was his profession? What he used to do? Sorry? Exactly. What was his father's profession? Even his uncle, Budali, he was also an entrepreneur. Yeah. In fact, 60 of the main Sahabas, out of them, 55 of them were entrepreneurs. So there has to be something, which should encourage us to go to this route, because he is our role model, and whatever he built around him, the main people, they were entrepreneurs. That is the whole idea. Another fact is, if you pick up the Quran, and if you see the longest ayah, so what is the longest surah first of all? This is the biggest surah in Quran. Surah Baqarah. Yeah? So what is the longest ayah? Which number? Ayah number? In Surah Baqarah it is 282. What does it talk about? Business. Talks about transaction. How transaction should be done, how contract should be written, how people should be witness to the contract, and this is what we do, Everything in business relates back to, or the bottom line is transaction. So that's what the Quran also emphasizes on, and the longest ayah in Quran is about that. So that should also encourage us. What I have noticed that what happens in a job, you get into a comfort zone. Yeah? And you start relying, and you start somehow unconsciously start believing that if it doesn't happen, then what if, that keeps coming in your mind. Like, what if I'm sacked? Yeah? What if I don't get my salary? What if there is a delay? So that, that trust or that faith somehow gets, I see that it gets weaker, But when you are in business, there is no SMS coming end of the month. You have to create that SMS, and you have to trust on Allah that thing will happen somehow. You have some kind of a capital saving yourself. It's very, very important. I would say at least 1 year of runway you should have before you get started, as a saving. So you do not fall into a trap where you are not able to serve your family. Because it's not just about you, the whole family will get into struggle. So it's not easy in the initial years. Yeah? But once you start seeing the fruits, you get the motivation, you get the inspiration to keep moving on. That's how. Individually, get into a business where individually you can actually create a value. Yeah? If you rely on people in the beginning, somehow it will not happen. That's why I choose a profession which I somehow was identified and recognized in. I was doing this for so many years. People knew me as a project manager for certain things in many companies, and that's what easy to penetrate and get more business. Team left by itself and they will deliver because the environment and the culture is not like that. So what we needed here is we needed a hybrid, which can take our classical projects and transform that into a methodology of agile, and if required, reporting can happen in the classical way also. So that's why the QPunch creates a differentiator, and that's how it's been created and it's how we do. There is, by the ministry, there is a digital incubation center. If you have a good idea and you believe in yourself, there is help here in Qatar somehow. For startups, for entrepreneurs, there is a long route. It's not easy, but if you are consistent and if you are really determined, you can find a way. Yeah? They take you for a 6 months kind of a coaching. Yeah? They make you pitch. They make you understand how to pitch. They make you exposed to the investors, And if your idea has some kind of credibility, you can win the competition, and they give you a free office, which we got for 2 years, and they give a grant also. There is no I would say equity they take back. There is minimum investment is 50,000 riyals they provide. So that's how the digital incubation center provides you this to get started. That's the whole idea.